Okay, so welcome everybody on YouTube, and let's see what kind of questions you have. And Happy New Year to all of you. We're going to try some new people here. New people is always exciting. So Bobby, I know you texted me earlier and wanted to have a chat. So is there something you wanted me to take a look at? And Sophia wants to ask about energy around work. So let's take a look at that while the rest of you are maybe entering some questions here on YouTube. So Sophia, with work. So the first thing that I want to check is your money vibration. So that's low. That's at about 250, which is low. And with a low money vibration, it won't matter really what you do for work. If you continue to have a low money vibration, you're going to struggle with making money no matter what you do. So that would be number one thing to do, is to raise your money vibration. And we can do that for everyone here in a moment, because it looks like that's kind of the ongoing thing a lot of you are still working on. Stepping into this new year, how do you make more money, right? So when I look at your work, Sophia, you're only about 50% aligned with this work. There's a part of you that doesn't quite feel safe to step into the fullness of whatever it is you do in this job. So I'll help you release some of that energy right at your root chakra, at the third layer of your third layer at your root. We're just going to pull in that energy that makes you feel a little fearful and not really feeling safe, even on the planet. It's really hard for people to feel safe right now. Okay, great. There's another place where you're not quite aligned with the work, at least the work that you're doing right now. And maybe it's because it's not what you really love to do. Yes, there's some energy that the 1% energy is right at your heart. And so this is making it challenging. The 1% is that oppressive influence on the planet, and they want everybody to suffer and struggle and not access their infinite intelligence in their heart. So we're going to pull this in, and I'm getting this niggling that I should be on. I'm going to just ignore that. Okay, there. So you're releasing a lot of judgments in your heart, all the ways that you're making yourself wrong with work, should be doing more, should, could, woulda. Also at your solar plexus, third chakra, this is where your engine is kind of turned off. So there's like a big block, and it just is not allowing you to move forward. So there's a lot of things that are going on with your work. It's probably really frustrating because you have this, this gift or this thing that you want to do and create with your business, but it's just not going anywhere. So that's the energy we're clearing out of your solar plexus right now. Yeah, so see if that doesn't make a difference. And at some point here, we'll do a money clearing for everybody. I think that's going to be an ongoing thing. So let's see some of the other questions. Hey, Jalpa, nice to have you here. I'm sorry to hear about your friend. Yeah, a lot of people being affected by the stresses of all of these things that are going on. Okay, so Raquel, that's a really big question. To how is your energy? That's if you could narrow it down, so I have something to look at, it would be a lot easier. If I just look at the biggest thing that's showing up for you is right in your heart. So there's a lot of judgments that you're holding in your heart right now, where you're making yourself wrong, and instead of just accepting where you're at on your life journey, and that the things that are coming up are the things that are wanting you to learn some lessons. And your resistance to the lessons, that's what's kind of making things challenging for you right now. And also in your root chakra, out to that third layer, that's where it doesn't feel safe to step into your power and to really own your gifts and your greatness. Just helping you release that down, your grounding. Yeah, so without a more specific question, in fact, the questions you're going to ask will probably relate to those two energies, but that's the main thing you were working on. Okay, here's B Transam chick. Okay. Wondering how many lifetimes I have known my ex and if I have known his daughter in past lives as well. So your ex and you have 30 lifetimes together. So that's a lot. But to me, the more important thing is how many of those lifetimes are still unresolved. And that would be part of the reason why you're on the X, in the X zone. You still have 5 lifetimes that are unresolved. And his daughter, you've had about 10 different lifetimes with her. And 3 are still unresolved. So those would be some good things to get cleared up if you were considering getting back together or wondering if there's any way to resolve your differences. Alondra, can you please help me release what is holding me back from receiving? I am receiving EDD benefits and they are currently suspended. Well, I don't know about what's going on that side. All I can tell you is what's going on with you energetically. So one thing, and the biggest thing that relates to your ability to receive, is a channel in your left hand, left arm. This is my left. I get mixed up because when I work on you, I reverse it. So in your left hand, this is where you receive. You allow yourself to receive. And right now yours is blocked. So, as well as the energy that's coming from the heart, like as you give out into the world, that's also blocked. So you probably have found that you're not really giving much of yourself lately. You're probably a little more contracted and contained and nothing's coming to you. So there's nothing to give. So we're going to open that right arm first. So it's stuck right at the clavicle. So we're going to bring that energy out that right arm where it's stuck right at the shoulder. Great. And stuck again at the elbow. So we're just going to gently pull this energy out. And like there's a part of you that I hear keeps saying, but I've got nothing to give. And so that's a belief, and it kind of is going to affect a lot of things. So if you hold that belief, I have nothing to give, then you're already operating from a lack mindset, because our natural innate nature is abundant, is flourishing. That's our innate nature. Just like the birds, they don't worry about their next worm. But it's all this programming that's been put on us that makes us feel like we have nothing or we are not enough somehow. And so when we come from that lack mindset, then it's going to be harder to give in order to receive, because giving is what starts the circle of reciprocity. And it doesn't mean you have to give money or things or stuff you don't have. You can just, it's an outward energy. It's a giving of yourself, of your time, of your energies. And all of that's free. And so that's one way that you can activate this circle of reciprocity. But we're pulling the energies out. So we're kind of like forcing it's kind of like jump starting it. And then we're gently going to pull that energy up that left receiving hand and arm. receiving is not something we control. And this is could be a really challenging paradigm for a lot of people to switch from trying to control everything, because we grew up in an environment that was completely out of control. And so this is how we start to navigate as adults, as we feel like we have to control everything. But receiving really happens from a much more vulnerable state. You don't control the allowing. You don't control what you're going to receive. You just have to surrender and let Spirit bring to you what you need, and then allow yourself to have it. That's kind of the bottom line. Good. So now that circle is coming through the front and back of your heart and your throat. We're going to let it stir in there for a minute so it can clear out where it's hard for you to ask for what you need. Yeah, there's some undeserving energy in there. And then through that sixth chakra and crown, and then through all the rings. Okay, great. So that is going to help shift your ability to receive. Okay, great. Hey, Peter, nice to have you here. How do my 360 senses relate to my gifts or abilities to read and heal? Yes, the more senses you have, the more dots you're going to be able to connect. Things will make sense in a new way. And it's almost a little hard for me to even put into words, because so much of it is sensing without words. And there's a lot of what we sense and know internally, not because of any logical thing. It's just like that inner knowing. And so that's where a lot of these senses, where we start to connect the dots and things start to make sense. And but it's not in a way that somebody told us it makes sense. It's just like you start connecting dots that you never would have connected before, but now it makes complete sense and it's completely clear to you. So that's how the senses will start showing up. You'll just have this inner knowing about people and things and etc. So the senses, this is a future book. But if you think about 360 senses, sounds like a lot, but some of these are kind of mixed together. And if you think about the skin, just the skin, I think I counted that there's so many of these 360 senses that are just available in the skin. Let's see. About 100. So about a third of our senses can be found in the skin. So this is our largest body organ, for one thing. And if you think about all the ways that the skin can sense things, like you can tell the difference between air that's blowing on your skin, the temperature of it. If somebody is scratching you or cutting you, if something is poking you with a sharp point, or is it like a dull finger? All of those little finite things is all giving you information. And so there's senses in your skin that inform you of those finite little differences in those kinds of things. And so thus there's so much to learn and explore in that whole department of learning more about our senses. Okay, so wow, there's like a boatload of comments here. Let's see. Can you please help me release what is holding me back from receiving? Okay, we did that one. Facebook does not work yet. Yes, I turned it off because I couldn't access any of the comments, so it felt kind of useless. Okay, here's another Kimberly Chelesvig. I'm feeling really stuck in many ways. Can you help? Okay. So Kimberly, let's see, where are you stuck? Yes, so a big place is right at your solar plexus. That's like your engine. Your engine, third layer, third chakra is like everything's been shut down. So I'm going to help you open this energy, pull that block into the core. There's a fear here. There is a fear of, it's coming up as a fear of displeasing others. So, maybe it feels like you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. So no matter which way you move forward, somebody's not going to be happy. And so that makes you not want to do this thing because you don't want to make somebody unhappy. And the big thing about that is that it's not our job to make everyone happy. Our job is to make ourselves happy, keep ourselves happy. And if everyone did that, this would be a much more joyful place. And so our internal happiness does not just happen here. Sometimes we enjoy, this is what, pleasure is a lot about, is, maybe you get a great deal of pleasure from cooking a meal for somebody, or maybe taking somebody's dog for a walk that brings you great pleasure. And so that doesn't mean that being happy is a completely selfish endeavor. But far too many people do have the happiness thing backwards. They're always looking on the outside for the next thing or the next person or the next adventure or whatever it is that's going to make them happy. And that's not where happiness is. Happiness is not on the outside. Happiness is on the inside. And when we learn how to self-generate love, this is a huge program that the 1% has implanted in our heart chakras, making us forget, along with all this other amnesia, forget that we know how to self-generate love. We don't have to go on the outside to find that person, that elusive person that's going to love us and make us feel happy and joyful. When you can come from a place that's already happy here, and then you meet a person or you attract a partner, because I do believe that we're meant to partner, that we're not meant to be isolated the way they have us now. Everybody's sequestered, and it's very unnerving. We're not meant to live like that. But at the same time, it's much healthier and way more satisfactory when two people come to the table more whole. And I say more whole because we're all working on something, right? And so every time we come together with a partner, it becomes that opportunity to look in the mirror and see where we still have some places that want love and light and some attention in here. So, well, I went off on a side tangent there, didn't I? Okay. So, Kimberly is feeling really stuck. Okay, so 7654321. So yeah, that was the big place. Your circle of reciprocity is flowing. So you're ready to give and receive. Maybe just that big block in the solar plexus was the main thing that was holding you back. So let us know if that helped. And those of you who are on here and you've had work in the past, it'd be helpful to know if you've noticed a shift in the days since doing that work. Happy New Year to you, D Vegas. How is work looking for me? Any guidance for now? Thanks so much. Work. Well, let's look at your money vibration, because that's generally where the two are connected. So your money vibration is currently at 500. So that's on the low side. So if you attract a job or start a business from this low money vibration, then that's the level of money you're going to be able to attract into your business. So it doesn't matter if you have the best business in the world or the best strategies or the best funnels or anything. if you've got that low money vibration, that's all you're going to attract. So that would be a big important part, is raising your money vibration. And then it sounds like you're looking for work, and it looks like in about, this might sound like a long time if you're looking for work now, but in about 3 months, something is going to show up that's more aligned with you. Springtime. So energetically right now, and this is winter in the Northern Hemisphere, it's that time for us to go inward. We're all excited about the new year, but we really should be focusing our attentions inward in this inward energy of winter, where we tend to hibernate and allow all the things to fine tune and to sharpen our saws, repair our nets. And so that when spring comes, we'll really be ready to launch. So if there was something more specific, like if you had a specific job or something that you wanted me to look at, I could measure the vibration and see how aligned you are with that. So if you could do that, that would be a little more helpful. Difficulties. Okay. Let's see. Hang on. There's so many stuff here. In a cult. Gaia, so were you brought up in the Jehovah's Witness cult? I was brought up in that cult. And so our worth, so Alondra's feeling much lighter. Okay, great. So self-worth, let's work on this, Gaia, for you, because I have a lot of affinity for cult survivors, having been one. And they train you to find all of your validation on the outside. All of your thoughts and everything you do has to be filtered through their beliefs and, you know, how they do things. So right in your heart, there is this energy where you are constantly having to prove your worth and value, so you didn't get excommunicated or punished or whatever it was. Jehovah's Witnesses got disfellowshipped. But anyway, there's this huge judgment right in your heart, but it's not yours. And so if you're ready, let's let this go, because it doesn't serve you. And it is, it's going to keep you in this energy of, no matter what you do, it's never going to feel like enough, because there's this place in you that's been trained that you feel enough when something on the outside validates you. And that you can never get enough of that, because we'll just always be looking. So we're going to remove this. Yeah, and there might be, I'm feeling a lot of sadness coming up through this. And so if there are tears, let them flow. Those are healing tears. And the truth is that you are already enough, and you are already worthy, and there's nothing to prove. So all of this energy here is useless energy, because you're trying to prove something, and that's already true. There you go. There, that's way better. Whew, so maybe you can breathe now. Yeah, just let that go. Yeah. 1, 6, 5. Yeah, and then that the energy that's passing through your arms is now flowing, so you can give, but you can also receive. So both of those energies will help fill that heart as you give out into the world and allow yourself to receive. Okay, great. Thanks for joining us, Gaia. All right, champagne. I have some issues where I can't get out of feeling stuck. Can you get anything as to why this is happening? Okay, so why is champagne stuck? A lot of stuck stuff today. Yes, also in your solar plexus, out to that third layer. So this is the most common place where stuck energy is. Like your solar plexus, that's your engine, right? And if your engine is blocked and you can't turn the engine, then you're going to feel tired and unmotivated. So that's where it is, right here in the solar plexus. So we're just going to drop that energy down the grounding. Okay, great. So the way to keep all of these energies moving and flowing is with a practice. It's a 20-minute practice. I'm in the process, I just started last night, of creating a brand new 20-minute meta clearing. And about half of it also relates to raising your money vibration. So right now there is a 20-minute meta clearing out there. It's called Running Your Energy, but it's a little outdated. So there's new ways that we're running energy now, and the way we're grounding the roots from our feet all the way through the earth and wrapping around the planet. There's a few adjustments that are a little more thorough. And so we want to incorporate that into a new recording. So I'll be getting that out this week. But in the meantime, it's helpful for you to listen to this 20-minute meditation to keep your energy flowing, to keep it moving. And I understand that that's sometimes hard to stay motivated to do that every single day, even though you're just listening to a recording. Sometimes it's hard to stay motivated, and I get that. And so that's why we are doing it starting on the 11th, which is what's only 5-6 days away. Soon. Next Monday or this Monday, we're going to be starting. And every day we're going to be running our energy for 22 minutes. There'll be about 8 minutes there where I'll be talking about something very specific for each day that will stir up energies. And then we do the running of your energy to clear all this stuff. And so every day we're going to be clearing energies. They just all stack up one after another, day after day. We keep building and building and building. And so the whole point of this next theme that we're doing, this is called the 27-day Infinite Love Adventure Challenge. And so I know that having grown up in the cult that I did, that Valentine's Day was always a very sad or angry day for me because we couldn't celebrate. And so Spirit is directing that, one, we need more love on the planet. That's kryptonite to these dark energies on the planet, right? So this process of running your energy every single day for 27 days is meant to prepare us so that we can create something new for Valentine's Day. It can mean something completely different than all of the expectations that are currently, all about Valentine's Day. And for the most part, it just leaves people feeling kind of crappy and empty and not lovable or whatever it is. So every day we're going to be clearing, planting, manifesting, so that we can create something completely new on this journey towards more self-love. So we're going to be redefining this Valentine's Day. So if you'd like to join us, there is a link in the bio. If Roma could post that also in the feed, that would be great. It's already filling up. And there's also 2 little bonus programs in there that are little mini courses that you could get started today if you wanted to join. So one is all about helping you eliminate fear and anger, the 2 most destructive energies that people are running through their energy field every single day. So that, and then the second mini course is all about activating your money vibration, raising your money vibration. I forget what the exact name of the program is. But anyway, both of those work together, and that would be a great start to get you even farther, faster in this program that we're starting on the 11th. So hopefully you'll join us for that. So yes, running your energy every day is super important to continue to not stay stuck. So champagne, that should help with that because your circle of reciprocity is already really clear and running. Hey, John, nice to have you here. Linda, nice to have you here from Australia. Where is her energy at? I feel that I am working hard and effort towards my business and studies, waiting to see the results to flow. Okay, great. Okay, good. So Gaia, you're asking here about unworthiness and love and letting people in. The energy that we were clearing in the heart will help allow that. So good. All right, Miss Linda, let's see what we have going on for you. So the money vibe is at 500. And you're aligned with money, but everywhere except for the root. So there's a lot of worry there out to that 15th layer. So you would want to pull in that 1% energy at the root because they keep us in that energy of not feeling, safe on the planet. And anyway, just a lot of those energies. Let's see about your circle of reciprocity. So the energy starts to come out your right arm. It stops right about at the bicep. So you want to bring that energy all the way out that right arm. And our next program, it seems like there's always somebody that's going to be missing out time-wise because we can't accommodate every single time. So Australia is the biggest place that's in the middle of the night during our next series. But recordings also work really well. I have one, my millionaire client who only uses the recordings. And so gets great results with that. So through the throat and the 6 and the crown and the rings, awesome. And let's just do a quick look at your avatar for your business. It's grounded, earth energy is coming up. There is a worry circle out to the 3rd layer, so I have to pull that in. And then the central orbit looks good, but the circle of reciprocity in your business avatar. So that's a little stuck. Just open that up. And yeah, that should help. Asking for what you need. Okay, great. Yeah. Good to see you here, Linda. Haven't seen you in a while, so nice to have you here. So that should help with that. And one last thing I wanted to check. The martyr energy. So that's only at 50%, but it's still going to make it a little bit harder than maybe you want to work. The martyr is in the root at that 3rd layer. So just pull that energy in from that 3rd layer. Just drop that martyr down. Okay, great. So now the martyr's at 0. Just the way we like it. Okay, great. Good to have you here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, great. So yeah, let me know how things. Yes, so you were a witness too, JW. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. I do know this quite well. And then Kiana, I'm feeling stuck with my long distant love, Oscar. We don't know how to move forward together and what to do next. We love each other so much, but can't be together just yet for practical reasons. You're welcome, Linda. Okay, Kiana. So the bigger question that makes me wonder is why you're pursuing someone who is not available. that's like the first question that comes to mind. Also, when I look at how many lifetimes you've had together, wow. Okay, so you guys, it's like you're together even though you're not together. 50 lifetimes? Let me double check. That's so many. Yes, 50 lifetimes. So you guys are deep, deep soulmates. And let's see how many of these lifetimes are unresolved. Only 3. That's really not bad. But if you were to look at these lifetimes, let's just do a quick run through with these, because you'll see where this same energy is showing up in these unresolved lifetimes as is happening now. So the first one is in the root, out to that third layer. So this relates to not feeling safe to step into your power. So there's something about the distance that's connected to you, like right now, not stepping into your power. So whatever that looks like, you'll know better than I will. And then the second unresolved lifetime is in the heart, out to that third layer. So there's a little bit of proving your love, like proving your love and your worth and your value to Oscar. So it's kind of like, well, if you love me enough, then you would do this thing. So then you could prove that you indeed love him, or something like that. Or that he would be the other way around too, that he would do something to prove that he loves you. So we're just going to clear that out. And then the third lifetime unresolved, it's right in the root, out to that third layer. So more about not stepping into your power. Whew. Okay, so we're just going to drop that one down the grounding cord. I think that was the biggest piece right there. Yeah. So if you were to just step into your power, you'd probably see this whole thing get resolved, and then you could come together. And then if I just take a quick peek at your we space, so that's your relationship space in an avatar. It's grounded. It's got earth energy. There is energy at your root all the way out to the 30th layer. So let's pull that in. That's that reptilian energy. Okay, so I was just checking to see if either of you are courting to each other, which you're not. So that's good. In relationships, you don't want to be courted to each other. You want to be able to use your words as how you communicate, not energetically vibing somebody or trying to manipulate them with these energy cords. We need to use our words. Okay, good. So yeah, circle of reciprocity is working good. And okay, yeah. I think that will, yeah, I'd be curious to see if that makes a shift in you two being able to connect together. Myself and my, okay, let's see. Sarah, let's see, will you clear my auric past life energies? I think it's because of the loss of my mom and brother. Not quite sure what you mean. As far as clearing past lives specifically. Well, let me just see what's really getting lit up with you right now, Sarah, because I'm not sure I understand your question. That's kind of a really broad stroke. You do have some energies that you're working on in your heart, out to the second layer. there's some anger and rage in your heart. So that gets turned inward. When anger is at the heart, it's usually we're mad at ourselves. So let's help you release that anger at your heart so that you can stop beating yourself up. You've been being really hard on yourself, making yourself wrong. Maybe coulda, woulda, shouldas. Maybe there was something that you could do to have prevented the loss of your mom and your brother. So let's clear that out. Yeah, that's a lot of, and now there's some grief underneath the anger. Yeah. Okay, good. Just releasing that down. Okay, great. So good. You released a lot of anger out of that heart, and you still have a lot of grief in your body. Let's see if you're ready to release that, at least for now. You know, grief kind of comes in waves, it comes and goes. But right now you're holding about 50% grief. And it's grief is kind of an interesting energy because it does have sort of kind of a span of time where you do have to go through grief and release grief, but it doesn't have to go on year after year after year. That's for sure. And if we're holding on to grief that long, there's some other things that are going on. But let's see where this grief is. It's in the root, out to that third layer. So it probably prevents you from a lot of things, prevents you from really taking a next step. And it's like, you can't because I'm still grieving and I'm, so you might be using it as a way of not moving forward too. And taking a look at some things that are maybe hard to look at. Okay, great. Okay, good. So you let go of that grief. The grief is now at zero. That's not to say you're not going to be sad at some future point, because grief comes in waves. And will get less and less. The more you allow grief to flow through and the sadness to flow through, it gets smaller and smaller each time. So I know when my mother passed away a year ago, I had a massive, I don't know if you would call it a grief thing, but it only lasted for like, I don't know, a few hours. And I was very sad that when we were watching her in the hospital, the 5 days it took for her to finally expire, that, because of being in this religious cult where she rejected all of us, I had to watch all these people that she had created as a new family, her spiritual family, come and say goodbye to her. She was unconscious, but having to see all these people come through and all of the love that they had for her, when it felt like that should have been for us, her family, which we didn't get because we were not in the cult. But at any rate, I left the hospital there. I remember feeling so upset, so angry. And I cried so hard, I couldn't even drive anymore. I was crying so hard. And I pulled over, I fell asleep on the side of the road, and a police officer was waking me up in the next morning and saying, it's not a safe place to be here. So I left, I went back to the hospital and I cried the whole way there. And then I was done. And I was never sad again, but it's because I really dived in deep. I dived in deep and I squeezed all of that grief out and any anger that was mixed in with it and resentment, and just purged it all out. And then I was done. So I'm not saying that that's how everybody should grieve. Everybody has their own process, but I do know it doesn't have to be dragged on year after year. That's for sure. Okay, so Sarah, she's a nurse. I don't know how. Okay, John, you never ask a question. Let me take John's question. I would be interested to know your thoughts on where my energy level is just now. I have been recovering from an illness with which Roma has helped me enormously in terms of my positivity. Well, let's see what's going on. You're still working on energy in your heart, also out to that third layer. So it might feel like there's still some of that, that you're like not enough, the energy of not feeling like you're enough, or that you have to somehow prove something, maybe prove that you're not guilty, or you're not a sinner, or that you're somehow worthy of something. So 3, 2, as we pull that into the second layer, there's some anger there. So this is where you've been making yourself wrong. I guess that's where the sinner part is coming in, like feeling guilty that you've done something wrong, and now you have to prove that you're worthy of it. It's whatever it is that you want to be worthy of. So yeah, we're just dropping that anger down the grounding, so you don't have to keep beating yourself up. You can be kinder to yourself, and you don't have to keep punishing yourself. And then right at the solar plexus, out to that third layer. So this is where that illness is kind of working in tandem with this energy here at your solar plexus, which is stopping you. This energy here is not allowing you to move forward. And so sometimes people will use being ill, or an illness will come up, and it becomes this energy that we use as a way of setting boundaries, or like if when people are, just trying to feel into the right words here. Often people will use illness as excuses, like, I can't do this because I'm not well, or I can't go here because I'm not well, or I can't do this because I'm not well. And so a lot of people will use the illness as a way of protection or not moving forward, when the reality is it's just a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear that's preventing you. And I'm not saying that's in every case, but this is what I'm noticing here. There's a lot of fear right at the solar plexus. There's a fear of doing it wrong. That kind of plays into that, a lot of that guilt, sinning thing. So there actually is, I like to go along with the idea that there is really no wrong. It's all lessons. It's all information. And we're not talking about moral things. I'm not saying that it's not wrong to kill somebody. Of course, that's obviously goes without saying. But I'm talking about other things that we prevent ourselves from doing. So right at that solar plexus, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then right at the second chakra, all the way out to the 15th layer, so not your energy, a lot of anger and rage. So this anger and rage is not yours, it belongs to the 1%. So we're going to pull that in to the core. Yeah. And when we hold a lot of anger in our energy field, it is very, very hard on the nervous system, on our whole body. And a lot of people are becoming ill and creating dis-ease in their body because of holding a lot of anger. Now, that's not something I'm not a doctor, not a medical doctor, and that's not something that you'll necessarily hear a doctor will say to you. But I know energetically the effects that these kind of energies have on the body. So, so one other thing I wanted to check was, you do also have a worry circle, also out to the 15th layer in the root. So let's pull that in. So all of these energies make it hard for you to be in your body. So you're not in your body all the way. You're only in your body about 15%. And so all the stuff that's going on in your body doesn't make it feel like a comfortable place to be. And so then, you kind of are out of your body and energetically just connected with a small thread. And then, so this is how you're able to cope with all of these energies in your energy field. So I'm always proposing that we get in our bodies so that we can tell and understand and hear all the information that's coming in. If we're only partway in our body, we're not going to have access to all of our senses and to all of the information. So let's see why you're not in your body all the way. In the root, second layer. So this is the anger. So for whatever reason that you are angry, let's just drop it down the grounding cord, because holding on to old anger is useless energy. And unless anger is moving us to do something, to resolve something, then it's just wasted energy. So you always have access to your anger. We're just letting go of the excess anger. Just sending that down your grounding. So now you're in your body 50%. So there's still some energy in your heart out to that third layer where you're still feeling bad. And so I'm just going to help you bring in some forgiveness. There's something that you're not forgiving yourself for, that you're still making yourself wrong about. So just going to help you release some of these, more of these judgments, and bringing in forgiveness for yourself. Okay, good. Okay, great. So now you should be able to feel a difference now than when you first asked that question, because now you're in your body 100%. And the anger is at 0. So you're probably feeling a little calmer. And so let me know how you're feeling. And I'm going to have to get on another call here. So hang on just one second. Okay, great. So thank you everyone for joining us today. I thought I had time to do the money clearing, but if you connect with the 20-minute meditation, half of that meditation is all about clearing your money vibrations and then clearing your energy before that. So the money energy has a clean place to flow through. So I suggest you check that out, listen to that. And then if you like doing this kind of work, I invite you to join us every day for 27 days. We have Sundays off. So it's actually a full month from January 11th to February 11th. And we're all getting ready for Valentine's Day, where we're all going to be experiencing more love on some level. So I hope you'll be joining us for that. And I wish I had time for more questions, but I do have to get on another call now. So thank you all for joining us. I'll be back on Friday, where we will be doing Friday's Inspiration. I'll be doing a massive energy clearing on something important. Look forward to seeing you then. Okay, sending much love. Namaste.